Hello and welcome to myfinancesteacher.org. You know what? Frustration in gold market continues and we're still waiting for that bounce. Gold has been in this declining channel all the way since second half of February, and I don't know how about you, but I'm personally wondering, are we close to that low? Is gold going to turn around and start climbing soon or not? Let's try to answer that question now. So looking at the gold chart, what we see is a very long intermediate cycle that has been going on already for 8.5 months. Within this intermediate cycle, these are the shorter term daily cycles that I see. So since the middle of August until the end of April, here we have some sort of a double bottom, I think. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 daily cycles. That gives us around 1.7 months per cycle, which is somewhat of a normal duration. However, what's not in the normal duration is the intermediate cycle. It has already been going on for 9 months, and I wonder how long it will continue. Well, let's look at this most recent daily cycle in gold. And I think since intermediate cycle has already been going on for so long, this might be finally the last daily cycle for gold. And this cycle is not really a promising one. Looks like we're going to continue to decline. And the reason for that is, if we count from this low on the 2nd of May, this cycle has only been going on for around 22 days. So the recent decline in the middle of May might actually turn out to be the half cycle low. We still have another half a cycle left. And within the declining phase of the intermediate cycle, of course, we are likely to make a lower low within this cycle. How low are we going to drop? Well, there are a couple of attractive targets. The first one is, of course, this 200-day moving average. That's at about 1260. However, this 1260 is not that far from the previous low at about 1266. So for that reason, I think this decline might actually go a little bit lower, and sometime in the first half of June, we might finally see the bottom for this intermediate cycle. And the next possible support zone, the next possible target for this decline is around that top we saw in the end of October at about 1240. That's also somewhat of a round number. And another reason why I think we might see finally the low of the intermediate cycle at about 1240 is also because it's relatively close to the 62% Fibonacci retracement, which is actually at about 1235. So 1235, 1240, either this 62% retracement or the October high is what I think is going to be most likely low for our intermediate cycle low. Many weeks ago, I have mentioned in my video that we are possibly going to see a decline reach as low as 1240. However, unfortunately, personally, I started entering long positions in GDX a little bit too early. So on the personal note on GDX, my average entry position is just under 21.3, somewhere around here. So currently I'm just about 3% down on my GDX position, which is not too bad. However, if gold does drop below this 100-day moving average, below these recent lows at about 1266, all the way down to 1240, I think GDX in that case is going to break below 20 because it's already at its 200-day moving average and GDX is already at its October highs. So what is the next target for GDX? Well, if we look at Fibonacci retracement numbers, the next target is again that 62% retracement, which is just around 19.7. It's also possible that GDX drops all the way down to 19.5, even low 19s. In that case, unfortunately, my current position will be around 8 or 9% down, but I've been accumulating gradually, and that's what I've suggested you guys might do as well. So I still have around 22% of my gold-related assets in cash. So I don't mind actually picking up some more GDX at around 9.5 with the decreased average entry price. And jumping back to the gold price for a moment and that 1240 price as well, gold is in this declining channel. And that's another reason why I think 1240 looks as an attractive target, because if gold does retest the low of that channel once more, that actually coincides with the 1240 price in the beginning of June, in the first half of June, quite nicely. So that confluence of targets, the 62% Fibonacci retracement and the bottom of this channel as well, makes me think that 1240 is really going to be probably a target that gold price reaches over the next few weeks. And one of the other targets related to 1240 is this previous intermediate cycle low we saw in December 2017. So 1240 has been pivotal so far in the recent few years for gold price. And it might turn out to be pivotal again, where gold price turns around, pivots, and moves upwards from there. But talking about a move upwards, there is a small chance that gold might actually continue moving upwards from where we are, and in that case the double bottom that we saw in late April might be the intermediate cycle low. However, I think it's not very likely. However, the reason for why there is a slight chance that gold is going to turn around and continue moving upwards immediately without reaching a lower low in the second half of June is this dollar chart. We see these daily cycles in US dollar forming something like that. Usually these cycles last for a couple of months, but recently they've been somewhat short. And the most interesting part is the current cycle. It looks like it has already topped. And if dollar does continue down from here, given that this cycle in dollar has only been going on for about 11 months only, we are going to see a lower low on the US dollar because it still would have quite a lot of time to decline until the normal duration for daily cycle low in dollar. In that case, if the intermediate as well as the daily cycle in dollar has topped over here a couple of days ago, and if dollar creates a lower low, declining all through the rest of the duration of this short-term daily cycle, that might actually give some boost to gold. But again, I think it's more likely that gold is going to decline down to 1240 just because this is what I see on the gold chart itself. So that's my expectation. I'm trying to give you value in these videos, guys. And in return, if you hit that like button, that'll be really nice. Also remember to hit that bell notification, and if you are not subscribed to the channel, subscribe. Finally, as always, good luck in your trades.